our YouTube channel, and thank you for joining us on this video, all to do with work experience. Now, we know organising work experience, especially during the pandemic, has been a really difficult time. It's so hard to get into a theatre, wards on the hospital, a general practice, a pharmacy, or even a dental practice. And admissions tutors are well aware of this. They're actively encouraging you to gain insight through other means such as virtual webinars or things that you're reading in the news. If you have had some work experience, then this video will also help you to reflect on that appropriately. So today, we're going to go through our 5 top tips on how to make the most of your work experience, whether that's in person or virtually, so that you're ready for those personal statements and those all-important interviews. So, tip number 1. Take notes on your work experience, whether that be in person or virtually. Make notes of what you see, the cases you discuss, of course in a confidential manner, and also the discussions that you observe with patients and with doctors and their opinions on things. Make sure you download our free logbooks. This is essentially what students have been taking with them now over the years. They write down what they've seen and what they've learned from it, and that will help you to write your personal statement. It's designed in a way that it's completely confidential so that you're note-taking in a professional manner. We've also put together a COVID-19 version of our logbook, which has a template of how to fill things out and then a blank version so that you can do it based on news articles you might read or webinars that you might attend as part of your virtual insight and work experience into medicine or dentistry. Number 2, make sure you make a list of buzzwords and key things that you see. Now, this is different to tip number 1, which is just writing down what you see. Here, you're writing down the skills and buzzwords that you saw. For example, did you see your doctor being empathetic? Now, that's your buzzword. Did you see them utilise incredible communicational skills? Did you see them face a challenge and get out of a sticky situation in a good way? Or have you seen something about our healthcare system in the media that made you think that actually we're quite robust, we reacted to the coronavirus pandemic well in terms of our NHS, or did you think that there were ways to improve? Now, all of this can be made note of in our logbook, so make sure you download them on our website. Moving on to tip number 3. This is all to do with reflection. Now, you might think this is very similar to tip number 2, which was writing down buzzwords or key skills and attributes such as empathy or communication skills, which is what you might have seen. However, reflection is a lot more deeper. Reflection allows you to have a deeper insight and showcases this to your interviewers or admissions tutors. This is because it's all to do with how is what you saw and what you learned from that, how does that make you feel? How may it change your practice? How does it support or maybe change your view on your application to medicine and dentistry? And how have some of the skills and attributes that you've witnessed resonate with something that you already do and have learned from your extracurricular skills or your work experience? That's what reflection does, and showing a deep, mature insight bodes very well for you when you're answering that interview or when you're showcasing this in your personal statement. So we know during this time it's difficult, but it can be done by keeping up to date with what's happening in the media. Not only does this show that you're quite clued on and knowledgeable about it, it shows that you've seen things happening in the NHS, looked back upon it and reflected on it so that you actually now have an opinion on it, and that's really important. You can also tune into vlogs or articles that are written by nurses, doctors, healthcare assistants. There's lots out there on social media, and see how this makes you feel. Appreciating the different views from different healthcare professionals lets you see the multidisciplinary team aspect of both medicine and dentistry. We're also running an In the Life series, and this is running on our social media where we've got lots of dental students, dentists, medical students, doctors, graduate entry medical students, all telling us about their life in that particular field. And this is for you, to give you that virtual work experience, that insight into what it's truly like from their opinion. So please go through those articles and tune in. We're also running our webinars, and if you've missed them, don't worry, we've saved them. So tune into those so that you can refer back to them and see what it is like being a doctor. What's our daily life like? What are the challenges of being a dentist? And how is life at university for both medical and dental students? This is how you can gather virtual work experience. The fourth tip is one of my favourites. Now, when you go on your work experience, or if you've attended a webinar or accessed some sort of virtual work experience or spoken to a healthcare professional in passing, if you can, discuss a hot topic that's happening in the media right now. For example, their view on anti-vaccination, or the changes in the NHS, or how we dealt with the coronavirus pandemic. It's very important to see what a healthcare professional thinks of this, have those mature discussions and reflections with them. The reason why I love this tip is because also NHS and hot topics often comes up in interview. So getting a doctor or dentist view on these kind of things is kind of your answer, and your research is done for you. So it's good to have the conversation so that you're reflecting on it, but also it gives you an answer to consider and use in your interview and discuss in your personal statement if necessary. So have some hot topics to discuss with them so that you can get these differing views and opinions from people who are already in that field. Our last piece of advice and tip number 5 is all to do with the end of your work experience. Follow up with a thank you email, get in touch, maybe ask them for a reference. Write all of this down so you have a record of it, because some medical schools ask you for the dates that you attended, who the work experience was, and also a reference. And other medical schools can ask you to bring these references with you. So it's good to do it as you go along and have these ready with you. So to summarise, we've gone through our 5 top tips. Be sure to download our logbook. We have one for work experience in person, but also for virtual work experience. Do these as you go along so that you're not rushing at the end. Consider having mature reflections, showing a deeper insight into your work experience, and make sure you tune in to our webinars and our articles, giving you lots of experience and insight into the different professionals. So visit www.steptomed.co.uk to download all that material and subscribe to our channel below. Follow us on our social media channels at Step2Med, and please email us on hello@steptomed.co.uk if you're struggling to find any work experience or you need some help to reflect. We can help you with that.